Two stories out of Ohio on the same day, one from Lorain, one from Akron. In Lorain, 31-year-old white kid walking down the street, a new father minding his own business, leading a nice life, shot to death by a 16-year-old black person. No one is surprised. In Akron, a Akron city councilman who's down with the cause, the whole thing, all the way, goes on a ride-along with cops downtown Akron at night when the bars close. She's absolutely astonished at the mayhem, the chaos, the violence, the total disrespect and defiance directed at cops. Lots of people are surprised that she's surprised. Let's get to the videos.
Lee and Frank, Lorain police say the murder suspect is just 16 years old, and tonight they want him off the streets. Kenneth Schinnefeld was a new dad, but his life ended tragically Monday night after Lorain police say he was shot in the head and killed. Police told me he was walking here down Reeves Avenue when he exchanged words with a teenager walking across the street. That's when police say 16-year-old Darius Ramey pulled out a gun and shot Schinnefeld.
We've checked with his mother. He's now been staying on the streets, going from friend's house to friend's house since May. She says she hasn't seen him, so we understand that he's still in possession of the firearm that was used in the homicide.
Police say Ramey is armed and dangerous.
And we're asking that the public give us a call and let us know if they see him out or about in the neighborhoods, and don't try and approach him.
Police believe the suspect and victim never met.
There's nothing that ties these individuals together. It doesn't appear that they knew each other or had any kind of relationship, at least at this point in the investigation.
Again, if you have any information about this case tonight, you're asked to call police. Live in Lorain, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
Sometimes black mob violence is so intense, so undeniable, that it overwhelms the ability of even the most determined denier to ignore it. That's what happened to City Councilwoman Tara Mosley in Akron. Why don't we go along with her on her eureka moment.
Downtown Akron, it's a hot mess down here. There's probably about 500 people standing outside, coming from the bars, fighting, taking their shirts off. We're down here riding with the officers just to see what the day in the life of the officers are here in the city of Akron. I'm gonna turn my camera around so y'all can actually see what's going on, because I'm sure we'll get a whole bunch of young people posting stuff saying the officers were being mean, and that's not the case. I've never seen kids act like this, and these are our kids out here acting like this, so y'all need to be aware of what our kids are doing when we're not around. This is bananas out here. So as we look at all these people leaving and the cops here, they actually had to spray mace to clear up two girls fighting. And all these people ran outside of clubs just to watch these two girls fight, and these two girls end up getting arrested and summoned to court because of it. So now we're down here with the mayor and all of council and a deputy public safety person, and we've been out all night riding around, just paying attention to what's going on in the city. And now we're in downtown Akron and the bars are closing, and these are our kids. I need y'all to understand, these are our kids down here acting like this. They don't care that the police are down here. They're just doing what they do. As a mother and a grandmother, I'm telling y'all this from me. I am utterly embarrassed. Utterly embarrassed. And I don't care who gets mad at me for saying it. I'm embarrassed that our kids are acting like this. I mean, it's embarrassing. And we're down here riding with police officers just so we can get our own vision of what they deal with and what they go through. And I'm sure you'll have them all posting videos talking about the officers as being mean to them. But I'm telling you, as a black woman, a councilwoman, I'm down here and I'm seeing it for myself. This is not the case. They are now trying to clear it out. Kids are yelling at the police. I'm sorry, I'm just embarrassed right now. I really am. Especially with everything that's going on right now in these ages. It's too much. I can't even understand it. I just came from a house interview with Sergeant Marks, and I watched a young Caucasian man be super disrespectful to the sergeant I'm riding with. I mean, disrespect to the 10th power. And I know Sergeant Marks from working at the courthouse as a bailiff, and he's one of the nicest officers you could ever meet. And he still, even when the guy was getting smart with him, still tried to handle it with professionalism. I feel for the owner of Czar because he had to close his club early because they were acting a hot mess. And I'm sure he'll feel a backlash because of the way all the kids stood out in front of his spot and acted up. And again, I'm gonna tell y'all, and we need to do something. This is too much. These is our babies out here, and I'm telling y'all, this is too much. I have not been out like that in a very, very long time, and I'm out here now, and I'm seeing it for myself. This is too much. I can't even understand it. I don't even know how somebody's getting arrested. Why? Because they don't, I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I just don't even know what to say. I'm just at a loss. And mind you, all these apartments above here, people live in them. They came down complaining to the mayor who was out here with us about how loud the kids are, fights. They've had to block half a Main Street off just to try to clear it out. And look at this right here. And look at these. Look at that. I mean, they don't even care. They don't even care. Look at that. I mean, they're fighting and they don't even care if the cops is right there. 2 girls. Again, the girls. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now she just want to go to jail. Look at that. Look at that. See, now she done got herself arrested. Even after they gave her a chance and told her to leave, they said just walk away and leave. She threw a bottle to hit the girl.
And then watch out for a minute, there's gonna be cars back.
And then took off after the girl. And now she's getting arrested. I don't even know what to say at this point. We really, 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 really need to pray for our kids. My heart is simply hurt. My heart is simply hurt. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm going to sign off because I'm just at a loss.
Okay, now we get to the good part. Now we get to the part where the people of Akron explain to the city council member, the newly awake city council member, what's behind all this black mob violence, black criminality, black mayhem that happens in Akron. Here's one. Let's tell the real reason why our youth are acting like that, because they are targeted by white society through the importation of drugs and weapons. Our schools are not being funded, no jobs, they have no future. Our politicians don't care if you get a minority job. I don't point the finger at the kids. I point the finger at those who are in a position to really do something, but don't stop putting our youth out there like that and help the cause. Bringing artists to Akron and doing nothing, so you should bring some black scholars. Here's another one. The club owners perpetuate the situation. Here's the good part. The officers instigate and sometimes watch these things happen when they could be doing crowd control. You can't just go down there and watch, especially during a ride along. They on their P's and Q's. You have to see it from the perspective of a person leaving or just walking in the crowd. I seen them damn near incite a panic by spraying pepper spray on people just walking. No regard, just because they just finished talking. People were not moving fast enough. I even have one of the officers try to push me. I had to tell him I'm not one of the little kids out there. I'm next to my car making a phone call so I can pick some up and go. I don't have any idea what that last part means. Okay, now that we've had representation of a huge number of people who commented on this story, why don't we get a few rare voices of reason? Okay, here's the quote. First of all, I don't know how she can act so surprised. This kind of behavior happens every day in the neighborhoods of Akron and has been going on in the Akron public schools for the last 10 to 15 years. It has progressively gotten worse, which is why I moved out of Akron, and I'm encouraging my children to do the same. Believe me, parents know what their children are doing. They either don't care or taught them the behavior in the first place. I feel sorry for the cops trying to keep the peace. Why don't we finish up the comments with this one? This is every time every weekend. I work the bars all the time. There is always drunkenness, fighting, criminal damaging, disrespect for each other. There's no excuse. Makes it hard on club owners because of the way they act. They have to pay for extra security. They don't have anywhere to go because they continually mess up at each spot that has allowed them to be patrons. Now, anybody who's read Don't Make the Black Kids Angry or White Girl Bleed a lot, you know what we're talking about here is let-out fights. And to call it let-out fights almost marginalizes it, right? But this happens every city around the country every night. And by the way, it's not just one place. This is Akron. Not just one place in Akron. It's a couple places in Akron where this is happening. These let-out fights, large group of black people leave the clubs, go into the streets, defy police, throw rocks at them, start fights, destroy property. That's what's happening every night. And so I guess a lot of people in Akron, a lot of people watching this video are going to say, hey, Councilwoman, you were so damn busy working for Bernie Sanders, you didn't even know this was happening in your own town? Okay, so we can say she was definitely in the group that was part of denial, deceit, and delusion. But you know that she posted this like 3-4 days ago on her Facebook page. But even after she posted it, nothing changed. She's still down with the cause. She's still down with Black Lives Matter. She's still talking about how black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything. None of this mattered to this member of the city council. And so whatever she said on her video, what she's really saying to the cops and to people all over the country is, if this happens in your town, when this happens in your town, you can stop it. Just don't make the black kids angry.